Hey, this is Ramsey Dewey over here in Shanghai, China. All is not well in the universe, my friends. Had a conversation yesterday with my friend Joe from Fight Perfect TV, and I got the unfortunate news that his channel was cut from YouTube. It's gone. They've taken it away. And without any reasonable explanation other than people complained about the level of violence. Now, I'm quite familiar with Joe and Brad's channel, Fight Perfect TV, and what they put on there. Basic MMA stuff. The same type of stuff that you will find on any martial arts tutorial channel. Any of them. Which is why we should be concerned, even if you don't like these guys, even if you hate their guts. If you enjoy martial arts content on YouTube, pay attention to what is happening. Because if it can happen to them, it can happen to you. Or it can happen to those that you enjoy watching. And if it happens to martial arts viewers for the most absurd and obsequious reasons that we can imagine, then where does it stop? So, Brad and Joe made a video about the arm-in guillotine choke, basic jiu-jitsu. There are hundreds of videos about this topic on the internet, hundreds of them all over YouTube, from channels that are very well received. I've made videos about the guillotine choke. I got a comment the other day, reminiscent of a few other comments I've had about the idea of questioning the wisdom of teaching martial arts on the internet, about showing combative techniques. Well, hey, if you show this choke or this neck crank or this other thing that can kill or hurt somebody, isn't that morally irresponsible? And to that I say, no, absolutely not. Because if you think that by watching a video on the internet about how to do one of these complicated, combative hand-to-hand movements, that some irresponsible child is going to go out there and hurt somebody with it, then you do not understand violence or children or martial arts. I made a video where I talked about neck-breaking techniques, the Hollywood Ninja neck snap, the other day. This is where this comment was posted, where I mentioned, no, the way they do it on the movies is not how it's really done in real life. If that's all you're familiar with, you wouldn't recognize an actual neck and spinal lock if you saw one. And this guy said, well, you shouldn't show the real thing, because then people will go out there and kill each other. No, they won't. If you have ever once attempted to do a submission grappling attempt on a resisting human, you should realize it takes a high degree of training. And that's just against a resisting person who doesn't know what the heck they're doing. If you try to pull off a twister, a wrestler's guillotine, one of those neck and spinal locks on somebody, that's a complicated move, man. You got to put your arms and legs all over the place like you're playing a game of human twister. It's called the Twister, man. But yeah, Joe and Brad, Fight Perfect TV. It's not on YouTube anymore. That was one of my favorite channels. These guys are friends of mine. These are people I respect. These are people I watch. These are people whose videos I find entertaining and fun and informative. And I suspect that those who may have reported them or flagged their videos as having inappropriate content that doesn't meet with YouTube community standards, which is garbage, because absolutely not. probably the children who shouldn't be using YouTube anyway because they're not over 13 years old. Because that is part of the YouTube agreement, that you must be 13 years old to use YouTube, not YouTube Kids, but YouTube. Some people ask me, what do I think about this whole thing YouTube is doing, requiring the content creators, I guess they call people who make videos these days, to label their videos as for kids or not for kids. I think that's a little redundant on YouTube proper, if you will, as opposed to YouTube Kids, since this is supposed to be a 13 and up platform anyway, by definition, by legal agreement, that every YouTube user has to sign off on before they use this platform, either to watch or to upload anything. So I think it's kind of a frivolous lawsuit they're going through, but what are you going to do? You got to abide by the laws that are passed, right? Or lobby to change them. This is not a channel for children. Joe and Brad's channel was not a channel for children. They marked it as such. Their videos that had such things as violence or profanity or anything like that that might upset even the most sensitive viewer were marked as such. This video contains such content. So what happened, man? What happened? I can't say exactly what happened, but I assume that those who feel the need to rally behind and protect people that Joe and Wong, did I say Wong? Joe and Brad have critiqued before. Joe and Brad made some videos where they watched guys like Jake Mace and Master Wong and a few of these other YouTube self-defense gurus. And they watched their videos and they made reaction videos. It's a very common thing on YouTube to do a reaction video. And they followed the parameters to do so within the Fair Use Act. So no copyright infringement. They made fair and legal commentary. And I felt, for the most part, tasteful commentary. They made videos where they laughed at some funny things Master Wong did. And I know a lot of Master Wong's fans got upset about this, like, how dare you laugh at my hero? It's hurting my feelings. And they went so far as to issue challenges and death threats to Joe and Brad in the comments, which they took in stride. But that wasn't enough, because the only battles these children feel that they are able to win, the only control that they feel that they have, because they don't feel like they have it in their own lives, is an attempt to exert it over somebody else in some unrighteous dominion in their satanic quest to remove the agency from others. I'm not mincing words when I say that. Not in the least. What is the mission of Satan, my friends? Whether you believe in Satan as a reality or as a myth, what's the purpose of the devil? I'll tell you what the purpose is. It is to remove the agency of mankind. Our ability to choose for ourselves. To take away our freedom of expression. To take away our freedom of thought. To take away our freedom to use our God-given will, what is in our mind and in our hearts, to express ourselves through our souls, our spirit, and our body. That's the mission of the devil, to take that away. And today it seems the devil has won a battle. And again, for all you atheists out there who might be screaming, there is no devil. Okay. You can interpret that figuratively if you want to. I give you permission. Man, so what can we do right now? I don't know. I do not know what we can do right now or what we should do right now. I'm concerned. I'm concerned for my own channel. I'm concerned for channels that I watch. That some impish children who hold a grudge because they don't like what they see can exert that kind of destructive force on somebody's livelihood. All that hard work that it takes to make videos, to upload them, to edit them, that archive of information, one of the most difficult things scientifically, as far as I am aware, is the ability to record, to preserve and transmit information. That might surprise you. It might absolutely blow your mind to hear that. And you might think, no, like space travel or Star Trek food replicators or lasers or whatever. No, it is the ability to record, transmit, and preserve information, especially over long periods of time. Look at NASA, for example. They sent up a spacecraft into space, the Voyager. The Voyager spacecraft. It was an attempt to send a message in the bottle out into outer space in the hopes that maybe one day a distant civilization far out there in space might find it and realize, hey, we're not alone in the universe. There is other intelligent life out there. And they wanted to send information on this voyage that might last millions or billions or trillions of years, who knows? Digital information doesn't last that long. Digital information lasts decades tops. Pen and paper, under the most well-preserved vacuum-sealed conditions, centuries perhaps. Even chiseling it into stone. Over a few thousand years exposed to the elements, that would be blown away, sanded off, turned into dust. So what did NASA do? I'll tell you what they did. They put a record and etched it onto gold. Yeah, an LP record, like one of those LP vinyl records, but instead of vinyl, it was gold. Why? Because that was the highest technology they could find to preserve and record and transmit information over the eons, because gold doesn't corrode and corrupt and turn into dust over time, especially in the vacuum of space. It's the best they could come up with for their message in a bottle for intergalactic civilizations. Maybe. So what does that have to do with YouTube? We're all throwing messages in the bottle. Throwing messages in a bottle out into the ocean of the internet, hoping that somebody will find it, and somebody will read it, and somebody will remember what we had to say, and it will resonate with somebody else. And whether that message reaches one or millions, to me, it's equally important, because it reached a life and it touched a soul. Brad and Joe brought the gift of laughter. And they taught technique. Nobody watched their technique videos, though. Man, that's such a shame. Nobody watches my technique videos. Nobody watches anybody's technique videos except for a few channels, maybe. People don't want to see technique. They don't want to learn. They want to be entertained. And that's fine. I come to YouTube for entertainment all the time. It's fun. But it is such a shame that this diamond in the rough that was their amazing technique videos just got overlooked and swept under the rug. because some impish, callow children sought vengeance. I'm not saying it was people who followed Master Wong, but maybe it was. Or people who loved Jake Mace, or whoever it was, I don't know. It's not the fault of Master Wong or Jake Mace or whoever else they critiqued. But I know for a fact that some of their followers really, really hated Brad and Joe for doing reviews of their videos, for doing reactions, and for laughing at the parts that were funny. Well, guess what? Master Wong is a funny guy. Master Wong brings the gift of laughter to the world. For everything he is or isn't as a martial artist, Master Wong is an entertaining personality that makes for some amazing reaction videos. You try to take that away, you've lost my respect. What do we do, man? What do we do? I don't know. I don't know. If I could snap my fingers and bring them back right now, I would. And whether they would do the same for me or not, I don't know. I don't care, but I would do that. Why? Because I stick up for my friends. And maybe these people who went out of their way to try to destroy Joe's career on YouTube, maybe they felt they were sticking up for their friends. Maybe they felt that in their naivety. Bless their hearts. But your friends didn't ask you to do that. I don't think your friends wanted you to do that. Every once in a while, I'll peruse comment sections of other martial arts related videos, and I notice sometimes people will get into fights, which they often do. And I remember one time I ran into a subscriber of mine leaving some angry comments in my name. Well, Ramsey Dewey says this, and so you're wrong, and I'm right, and you suck, and I'm awesome. No. I shut that down as quickly as I could. If you listen to me at all, if you respect me at all, you don't do that. I tell you constantly, don't get into fights you are not being paid for. If you're going to do fighting, do it in the ring, do it in the cage, do it in a sanctioned event. Do it against an evenly matched opponent. Don't try to be a bully on the internet and pick a fight where nobody can swing back at you. That's not cool. Nobody cares about that except your selfish pride. It sickens me. It absolutely sickens me that what happens here on the internet is a reflection of what happens inside of the hearts and the souls of humanity. And it's ugly. It is time to grow thicker skin. Children, it is time to grow some thicker skin. If you don't know what that means, you will eventually. Because life is going to throw some tremendous challenges at you. Much, 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 much worse than some guys on the internet making a reaction video to a YouTuber that you like and laughing at the funny parts. Life is going to come with slings and arrows. Proverbially. How do you say that word? Proverbially. I'm trying to sound all deep here and it's backfiring on me. Metaphorically there, I'll go there instead. It's easier to say. Life is going to beat you up. Life is going to beat you down. Life is a fight. And some of us feel really helpless in this fight. And we can respond to helplessness in one of several ways. Either we can do the mature thing and man up, if you will, and grow stronger because of it, or we can try to hide and use a crutch. And limp our way through to the bitter end of our existence, wondering, why? Bring back Fight Perfect TV. It was perfect, man. Absolutely perfect channel. I know some of you don't agree with me on that assessment. That's okay. That's your will, your agency in action, and I respect that and I support that. That's what I'm all about. Your ability to choose. At the end of the day, YouTube is a company that does not have to respect everybody's freedom of expression, and that's fine. But they did lay out some very specific community guidelines which were not breached. We should all be concerned, every last one of us. Thank you for watching. Now get out there and, well, train doesn't necessarily seem like the appropriate action at this specific moment. If you don't already, go follow Joe and Brad on other social media, Instagram, Facebook. I don't know if they have Twitter. Check there. So they can keep you updated on whether or not their channel will ever make a return to YouTube. I certainly hope it does. But get out there and make a difference in the world today. If we don't effect change on YouTube, you know, okay. I guess it doesn't really matter that much in the grand scheme of things. But get out there and effect a change in somebody else's life in a positive way, because, man, the ultimate level of happiness is not gratifying your pride. It's not acquiring stuff and things. It's not going out and having fun experiences. It's not just about personal development. It's about giving something back. If any of you have the power to effect change, please do so. Give something back. Start with giving something back to Joe and Brad. Give back their channel. I don't want to do virtual begging right here, but if that's what it takes, sure, why not? Because they are friends of mine, and I respect my friends, and that means something to me.